true to what I'm seeing here, and I like this line. This is a line that I could see in any great, fantasy movie or show. Do you know what it is to be tortured at the hands of a god? I could see that in the movie Troy, actually. That'd be a good line for the movie Troy. Um, but so Kelly Brimore is like, yeah, I can't imagine. I see. I don't really understand what's going on here. What's the dynamic? Is Sauron actually trying to garner sympathy from Killer Brimbor? Like, I know you think I'm treating you badly, but I was tortured by a god, and I'm just trying to make this world a beautiful place, and you just gotta listen. Like is that what's happening here? Are you trying to trick? Are you trying to convince Celebrimbor you're the good guy? Like you're clearly not. Look what happened here.
But then
So
he throws it in his face like you're the cause of your own torment.
yeah,
Too.
then it's like
So he doesn't.
not only was I tortured by a god and it wasn't my fault. You're being tortured by a demigod and it is your fault. Yeah, so I don't know what this is supposed to like. Sauron is both trying to have it both ways. He's trying to play like the ultimate almost like over the top villain and like just super condescending, and then other time it's like, woe is me, I was tortured and like I'm just like you, Celebrimbor, and it's like he's trying to do good cop bad cop but like at the same time, and it's so strange. But I do like the scene. It's kind of fun regardless of like the kind of chaotic way that Sauron approaches it. Um, there's also a line. What is it? It's like sometimes the pain becomes the reward. I don't know what's going on here. There's some creepy lines here. I actually kind of like it though.
And they talk about strength of wills.
Oh
too.
yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's in there too. Because like that's relevant later.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where. They're talking about the strength of wills, and how you gotta push through the pain sometimes, and it's what I did. And then Celebrimbor asks like, is that why you? And with all that, you still choose to inflict this suffering on me, and that's why. And that Sauron says, no, you chose it. You're the cause of your own suffering. So that's when he gets that line in there.
Is he saying like you should have known that I was up to no good, but you wanted?
So
to do this.
Look, I'm gonna praise some of the dialogue, but the overall scene, I am kind of confused as to what Sauron's actual goal is with this conversation, and whether or not he does care about Celebrimbor, because I don't think he does. If I'm just going based on what I know of Sauron, which is very little, to be honest. I watched the original trilogy, I watched The Hobbit, and now I'm watching this. Sauron's the villain, and he just is like, he likes to do evil things. He wants to control the world. Like, that's what it is. It's a super simple plan, simple scheme. I want to control the world. So I don't like him.
This is when Sauron says, "You have to understand, I'm really like a Walter White figure.
Yeah.
You're Jesse Pinkman."
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Celebrimbor to be like, "Let's go, bitch." Now we're just gonna make these rings blue. Yeah. So this is where he says you're the true author of your own torment. It does seem to be like you said, that you should have known. First of all, you should have known what was going on, but also you did actually ask for some of this in how you asked me for help. So you would come to me with a problem like, I can't focus. So I then solved that problem for you by allowing you to focus, and that you call torment afterwards. But during it, you liked it, and the fact that you couldn't see through it is your own fault. Kind of. That's, I think, what he's going for. But again, I'm confused. Does he care about Celebrimbor or not? That's what I don't know.
Right, because he did say he would like miss this when it's all over.
Yeah.
That was earlier, and
yeah,
all good things come to an end.
So like, is he actually? Does he?
I think he admires Celebrimbor.
Sure. Yeah, I could see that. But my question is like, does he care if Celebrimbor is happy or not? Because here he's like trying to convince him that this is for the greater good, so be happy in a weird way. Um, and then Celebrimbor comes in with the over the top rope line, which is great, which is you truly are the great deceiver, you even deceived yourself. I actually like that line too, and it's it's the first time that we've seen a real like I mean obviously Celebrimbor's been pushing back now for the most of this episode. This is the first like line that actually lands a blow because you can see so he says it and this camera's on Sauron and Sauron's looking down at one of the rings and he immediately looks up at that line and just stares down Celebrimbor and then that's when he goes finish them like he's like done with his conversation. That stuck. That hit a nerve that he's deceiving himself. So Celebrimbor is starting to he's starting to overcome the control that Sauron has on him. He's starting to be able to push back, which is really nice to see because this guy has been like the butt of jokes, you know, ever since the original trilogy, and even now, seeing how he was duped, and now he's starting to become that old Celebrimbor again, and he even comes up with a plan here, which is great. So he initially
he tries throwing the rings in the furnace. He's trying to destroy them.
So he attempts to try to destroy the rings,
but he can't. They don't melt. It's
no.
Like,
damn it. Yeah, and so meanwhile, while he's like coming up with a plan here, we cut back to the battle, which is still going on. Even though some orcs are, you know, doing cremation ceremonies, there's like a straight up battle going on, and the elves have a cool thing. Honestly, I thought I would hate this because like this is normally silly and dumb in medieval movies, but with elves I will give an exception because it makes sense. They are expert marksmen and they have heightened senses, so they're throwing these like bags of something up in the air of like gunpowder or something, like pre gunpowder, you know, explosive bags, and then they're shooting them out of the air with their flaming arrows, and it's causing the bags to explode and send like fire raining down on the battlefield. Really cool idea. I don't know if you need okay, why would you, it's a cool idea, but you're essentially saying for every archer we need a bag thrower, and you almost need a device or something to launch these bags. Now maybe I'm like, you know, Eregion was not prepared for this battle, so like they didn't have these devices, but it just seems like there's a lot of manpower going into launching these bags. That's just my you know, strategy game mind coming into play. I don't know if I would sacrifice that much for these bags, but they're pretty cool to see. And then we quickly cut back to Celebrimbor, who, he tried to destroy the rings, didn't work, and so now he's got to figure out something else because he can't let Sauron get these rings. So his new plan is he is going to get them out of. He's going to take them out of here, and unfortunately, though, he's in chains. He is chained to. He's shackled to the desk. Now, I would have thought you could break this shackle with a smithing hammer. Maybe this is like special elven shackles that don't break or something. Because he can't seem to break these shackles with anything. He tries a hammer. Yep. He tries like this little pry tool, and he can almost get his hand through, but he just can't quite do it. So he has to
chop off his thumb.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just gonna go for it.
And he does the strength of will quote.
Yeah.
Where he does it.
Yeah. Exactly. So a little callback there, and another one of those like, sacrifice type. Great things require sacrifice type of thing.
Whose will is mightier?
Yeah. So I was shocked that we have to see this, but honestly, like, they really did step up their gore in this season. So yeah, here we go. An elf chopping off their thumb. Who had that on their bingo card for Rings of Power? This is actually a pretty intense scene too. I like this actor. He did a great job. because even that line, by itself, when you're muttering it to yourself, can come across really bad. I think he does a great job doing it right before he slams it down, and it gives it like this, like he's almost like preemptively showing triumph before he's about to have this immense amount of pain. Um, and then he's now free. He gets out of his building. He's got the rings in his pocket, and wouldn't you know it, a catapult is gonna come and knock him over again.
And there's more tinnitus, yeah.
What is with this guy? He's like attracting these cannonballs. Like he's got to be the most unlucky elf walking through a city under siege, just getting completely bombarded all the time. But yeah, so we get tinnitus again, and we're gonna get.
Oh, the elves find him.
Yeah, we're gonna get a bad scene here because the elves find him. Now the elves have already established that he is mad. He's insane.
Yeah, and they're gonna say, "Look what he's done to himself." Oh my goodness.
He's cut his own arm off. He's claiming Anatar, the messenger of the gods, is Sauron. He's been shut up in his tower while the battle breaks out, and he hasn't even shown himself until today. And at that moment, as they're about to take him back into his tower, Galadriel shows up, and it's like, unhand him, that's Lord Celebrimbor. Well, they know who it is.
Right.
He's there.
And honestly, when I saw Galadriel, I thought, is this Sauron pretending to be Galadriel? And I couldn't tell.
That would have been good. That would have been good.
That's really what I thought it was.
Oh, that would have been good. I didn't think that. I
thought that immediately. I'm like, is this really Galadriel? Like, where did she come from? This must be because her being there doesn't actually make sense.
No.
Right?
No, it doesn't.
So I thought for sure this is Anatar, and this is him cleverly getting Celebrimbor back where he was and locking him up again.
Yeah, man, that would have been good. You know, you should be writing for this show because what they do is not so good. They have Galadriel show up and say, "Hey, this is Lord Celebrimbor, greatest of the Elven Smiths." Like,
they always have to say that.
You're in Eregion. You're talking to soldiers of Eregion who know who Celebrimbor. Like, he is their leader. They know who this man is. You don't need to announce it to them. And then she orders them to release him. Galadriel, you're nobody. You are not even commander of the Northern Armies anymore. You're just an elf in Eregion, which is under the jurisdiction of Anatar right now, not Galadriel. When the last I checked, Anatar was the leader of Eregion, not Galadriel. But these elves all of a sudden listen to her. What? How? How does this happen? Like, they all of a sudden go, oh, she's right. This is Celebrimbor. He is our king and our lord. All right, Anatar is Sauron. Like, it happens in a blink of an eye, which makes no sense. This guy just cut his thumb off, was babbling about a mouse and candles, launched Miranda or whatever her name was off the top of the wall, and has been shut in his room for a week making rings while there's a battle happening. Who cares what Galadriel says? She's crazy too. Galadriel was mutinied and sent away. Do we forget this? Like, who's listening to these people? So, Celebrimbor and Galadriel have this moment where she goes, Celebrimbor, it's me. And he starts to recognize her, and he tells her about the ring. He shows her his hand, he tells her about the rings. And I don't know. That, like, so to your point, I think Celebrimbor says he thought it was an illusion at first from Sauron. Galadriel was Sauron, which is kind of fun. Okay. So like the writers also thought that, and then they're like, nah, this is actually Galadriel.
We decided to make it actually Galadriel.
And yeah, he's like, I thought this was just like another cruelty device to torment me with false hope. And Galadriel's like, oh, Sauron, like, you know, where is he? And then, I don't know when, we hear like a scream at some point from like inside the tower, during this conversation. And,
I don't remember it.
Yeah, so he just essentially tells her what's going on. So he's made 9 rings to enslave men, and, he enslaved, Celebrimbor says he enslaved me and it was all my fault. And Galadriel's like, no, it was my fault. I brought him here. It was both your faults, okay? You're both to blame. No one should listen to either one of you. And yet, these soldiers are all going to listen to you right now. Um, oh, and this is where, so to Sauron's point, and to, like, Celebrimbor comes clean here and says, I was suspicious at first, but I kind of was blinded by what he was showing me, and it was just
His
so
own
great.
ambition, yeah.
And that was, I now realize that that was actually me that was seeing what I wanted to see. Anatar wasn't actually tricking me all that much. I was like, oh, this is great, without even really questioning it. So he does kind of start to really internalize that, like, he is kind of to blame, in his own way for what he saw. Same as Galadriel was, where she wanted to see a king of the Southlands that she could rally behind and rally with to fight Sauron, and so Sauron just kind of allowed her to see that in him without really lying to her all that much. But yeah, so Sauron is like up in the tower, like yelling, "Where are those rings?" Like he's like trying to find the rings. And so Galadriel's like, "We got to get out of here. We'll take these old dwarven tunnels I found." And this is where Celebrimbor does the ultimate sacrifice, where he goes, "No, you take them, and I will be able to ensure that he doesn't follow you so quickly. You'll have some time. I can hold him off a little bit."
And you're right. And Galadriel should know better that, you know what? Sauron can kind of manipulate my reality. Maybe we should give this to Arondir. He can run away.
Yeah.
And give it to Elrond.
Now, what would have been fun? What would have been fun here is to have that moment where Galadriel's like, "You know what? He also got a hold of me. Arondir, you must take these rings." And Arondir goes, "No, I don't care about that. Where's Adar? You promised me Adar." And so he just refuses to even like deal with Sauron. He's like, "I'm not even here for that. I could care less if Sauron kills all of you. I just want Adar." So yeah, Galadriel is gonna take these rings and run away. And Celebrimbor, she goes, "Celebrimbor, you can't face him alone." And that's when these guards, who were just about to arrest
Did they say
Celebrimbor,
not alone?
yes,
Quote, not alone. Okay.
"He will not be alone." And it's like, wait a minute, why won't he be alone? Who are you people? Why did you agree to this? This man cut his own thumb off, babbled about a mouse, didn't help defend the city. And now, because Galadriel shows up, it's like, oh, he must be telling the truth because to me, this is just...
He should have said, "It's me, I must confront Sauron, although I do not know the way."
Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Honestly, if Mordania wasn't dead, she could have done that. That would have been a fun moment where he's like, "I must confront Sauron, but I do not know where is he?" And then Mordania comes in and says, "I can help you there." And then you have these other elves with my bow and my bow and my bow. So we're gonna go fight Sauron. It's gonna be a thumbless Celebrimbor and like 5 guards, who have been brainwashed by Galadriel. I don't know how this happened, but so that's what's gonna happen. Oh, they also have a line where like they something like, "I wasn't strong enough to fight him. There might not be anyone in Middle Earth who is." And I always thought, like when I watched this episode, I thought they should have had a random cut to Isildur, like traipsing through the woods. Cut back to the like a little foreshadowing. Cut to Isildur, cut back to here, just to like kind of be fun, or like having the Isildur moment in this episode, just to like reinforce that. You don't have to do it goofy like I just described it, but just like having Isildur showing that he is growing. Or even Elendil, have him in it or something, just to like, because we know, like, people watching this know what happened. I'm sorry, but there's not a single soul watching this that hasn't seen the original trilogy. There's no way. So they
Right, but the original trilogy doesn't quite depict it accurately either, though, because
No,
it's
no, but if all you have is the original trilogy,
yeah,
that's all you really need to know that like these guys will eventually confront him
yeah,
and win in some capacity. Like that's all I'm sort of going. You're right. You're right. Like the Peter Jackson made a lot of changes, and you know people have forgiven him on that, and maybe people one day will forgive this show for their changes. um, yeah. So yeah, they talk about There's not. I don't know if anyone can actually deal with him. No, there's a cheesy line. Okay, you know what? I praise the good writing. Here's some bad writing. No, you know, strength doesn't beat darkness. Light. Uh, that's kind of meh. Like then you need to set that up more if you're gonna have a line like that in there. It doesn't really work for me. Um, so we get that line while we see orcs fighting the elves, and it's something like in the presence of light, darkness must flee, or something like that. Which would be good if like the sun came up and the orcs fled, but they don't, so it
yeah.
doesn't even work in that moment. Okay,
Oh, then they have oh yeah. So are we back to Elrond now?
yeah. So now we cut back to Elrond, who's in the midst of he's been battling all night, fighting these orcs on the battle. So from what I can gather, the way this fight has gone down is similar to Helm's Deep, but if Helm's Deep was prolonged and Gandalf's charge on the fifth day doesn't just crush the army, because what I imagine is there was a siege happening. These elves show up and are now in the fray. So there's elves on the wall that were besieged. Elrond shows up with his army and Gil-galad, and they're fighting in the fray, like in front of the wall. And that thing has just been going on all night, and they are running low on elves. Um, and so this is where there's some. I don't know who this is. Was she an established character? This
She was in that party that went with Elrond and Galadriel to Linden on that little.
she
You know any people that can come with it? She's not very established, but we've seen her before. She was with Galadriel and Elrond when they originally went from London to Arakia.
Because I didn't even know who this was. I was like,
She fought the Barrow Whites with them and stuff.
okay, because I was like, who the heck is this person? Like, why is she now like, oh, like,
Why is she Boromir now?
yeah, why is it bring that thing down, and then she goes to shoot it and like gets hit by these arrows, and I'm like, I can't believe you're giving her a Boromir death. She's not Boromir. So yeah, I didn't really understand who this person. Like, I was super confused. I thought this was like I missed an entire episode where this character was set up as like some great elven archer. I don't know. So she gets hit by these arrows. She then shoots she then lights.
But Elrond, I mean, Elrond also had a line because she's talking about hopelessness basically.
Yeah.
And Elrond says a single arrow may make all the difference.
Yeah.
Of course, she's dying, but she manages to get that one last.
So
shot
she gets shot with an arrow. I think she like pulls it out of her back, lights it on fire, shoots it. Okay, look. The thing is, some of these ideas are kind of cool. Like, that's a kind of cool idea, but it's not set up in a way that's valid. So when it happens, it comes off as silly and cheesy. That's a cool thing. Getting shot, taking the arrow out, lighting it, and then blowing up a big thing. It just, the way that they go about it, they should have really set this up to have her, properly get involved in the story with Elrond a bit more, give her some more personality, let us care about her, so that when she does get hit, it's like, oh my god, no. Instead I'm just like, there's countless elves dying. I don't know who this is. I care about Elrond right now because he's in the fight, and that's about it. I don't know who these other elves are. Like, yeah. I care from like I want the elves to win, but like when Boromir dies, that's a big thing. We've been getting to know this man through the entire film. Here, she was at the Barrow Whites fight, sure, and then she's here and she's a great archer, and that's about it. So I wish they had set her up more. I feel it's wasted potential because it's a cool scene. It's a big explosion, a lot of extras on fire. It's actually well done. I just it's losing the feeling that you should get in that moment from that explosion. And then that so they've now blown up the Ravager. Somehow she shot the one point on it, like it's like the Death Star. It has like a little self-destruct button that you just
There was
shoot.
like a little well of oil in there or
Yeah,
something.
so
Yeah.
she hits that well of oil, it blows it up perfectly, beautiful. She used the force, and then Elrond shoots something like go or charge, and then they climb over this little mound and charge into the orcs, and
But I
start.
don't think actually, I don't think that would have been the Devastator. This must have just been some random trebuchet because the Devastator's still there with the troll. I think.
Oh
The
yeah,
troll,
now I'm confused.
troll,
Like they
the
blew up
troll gets
something.
the troll gets gut punched by it. Remember?
Oh yeah, so she blew
That's
up
coming up.
something. Did they have two Ravagers maybe?
I don't know. Maybe that was like the last trebuchet or something.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they blow something up. I thought it would be closer to the wall. Anyway, they blow something up, and now this is when Adar chooses to say send him in.
Oh, and then we have Glug being a little bitch again.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let me get this straight. Glug is now my new least favorite character. This has surpassed like the Harfoots. I hate this orc. No offense to the actor. Like the actor's doing this brilliantly. I hate the character. So Glug is like, send him in. What do you mean send him in? What did you think was the point of this?
He's gonna kill. He's gonna kill some of us too.
What did you even think was going on here? Why do you think we brought him? To have him hide out in the forest? No. Oh, I can't believe Adar waited so long. Like,
Yeah.
I would have sent him in first. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. So, yeah, send him in. Glug bitching out like, no, he's gonna kill our own kind. What the hell?
It just says, yeah, well, send him in.
Like, honestly, I picture Glug playing like a strategy game and like not wanting any of his units to die instead of just like sending him in like zerglings or whatever. Like, oh no, that's gonna kill my own kind. Like that, he has no heart for battle. This guy should not be second in command of these orcs or whatever.
No.
He should have been left at home on paternity leave or something, because this he's really bringing down the vibes in the orc camps. Like,
So negative. Yeah.
he's so negative. And like Adar has to like say it again, send him in. Like, I can't believe that Adar has kept this guy around so long, considering that we've killed things for way less. I mean, what does Glug think about the trial of death, where if any human wants to join them, they have to kill another human? Does Glug think that's cool? What's going on with this Glug character? I want to know his like philosophy on how the orcs have treated others in the past, and like, I wish we hadn't behaved so terribly to these humans. Like what? Or does he like? I don't know. This character makes no sense. He's like bitching out that there's a troll coming. You brought the troll. You brought it. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? I cannot believe he would question that. That's crazy to me. So we send in the troll. They have a cave troll. Actually,
And
no.
you're right. They should. If they did that at the beginning, would have they breached the wall a lot earlier
Yep.
and gotten in there way earlier?
If we didn't have orcs camped out in trenches, we would have done this by now. Like, I can't believe how Adar bungled this fight. He's brilliant, and then he just completely screws this up. Like, they should have had this. Erakion should be done. Like, I am sorry, they should be done. But yeah, so we're sending in this troll now, and you're right. Arondir's on the battlements in this scene, shooting down at things, and this is when we see the troll come. Oh, the
orcs do clear a path.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
like,
it's not so bad.
but also like like, okay, here's another thing that doesn't make sense.
And like the troll's sentient too. Like, hey, maybe take it easy on the orcs. They're trying to.
Well, yeah. So like, also like, sure, the troll might be a little bit careless around the orcs.
Yeah.
But I think he also knows I can't just kill all the orcs. Then it's just me against everyone. I'll die. Like he's still gonna want to win the fight. He's not gonna just kill his own kind before he's not like that mindless cave troll that is like straight up like killing anything in front of it.
Yeah.
He actually is like sentient, like you said, and he's like got an idea and a plan. But and the orcs are moving out of the way. Like that's all you have to do. Like look, we've seen orcs treat each other pretty badly, even in their little campments. They're like fighting each other. I'm sure they've killed each other. Heck, we saw it in the original trilogy. Looks like
Right.
meat's back on the menu.
They're doing that all the time. Yeah.
That's just what orcs do. Glug
So
out
the
here going
so the
like,
so,
oh, we
so
might kill our fellow orcs. Like, what the hell?
yeah. Well, other orcs kill other orcs all the time too. This guy just happens to be much bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
But
Like, Glug doesn't know. It's almost like Glug has been a human transplanted into an orc body and doesn't know, like, how orcs behave. So everything's new to him. Like, oh, you mean we might die if we do that? Oh, that guy might kill us? Like, oh, I don't want to be a part of that. That sounds bad. Like, what the hell? You're an orc. Act like it. What's going on here? I can't believe this. I can't wait for this guy to die. It's so annoying. It's making me hate orcs more, and I already
bring back Waldreg.
bring back Waldrick. Way better second in command than this Glug guy. Oh, Jesus. I wish we got more orcs like we got in the original trilogy. That's making me miss the orcs from the good old days, because now we have these bitch ass orcs like chickening out of everything that they're told to do. It's not even that complicated. This Arakion siege is easy. I can't believe they bungled this so hard. This is like a huge screw up. They could have won this, but no. Now, so now we got this troll coming in, but meanwhile we got Sauron freaking out, can't find the rings.
Yes, he's distressed. He's
Yeah,
looking for the ring.
and he's now approached by Celebrimbor and like a couple. There's like 5 elves, who have who have decided that Celebrimbor's not crazy anymore, and yeah, this is actually a pretty neat scene. It's kind of scary. This show becomes a bit of a horror show right now, because here comes Sauron. Now we know Sauron's a villain, but when I think of like a villain like from the trilogy, he always does. I know he's kind of like mysterious and like otherworldly, but you always think of him as like an enemy you can confront physically, even though you can't. And here you get that chance to, and so. Celebrimbor's got his troops here, his 5 troops, and they're gonna confront Sauron physically. And at first, I'm like, okay, like, is he just gonna get stabbed and not die? Like, what's gonna happen? And then it like straight up becomes a horror movie where